What's that? 1st of November. So we're building towards now the Swindon show on the 1st. We should have a press conference for that at some stage next week to launch it. So both guys are in, working hard. Tarek's been ticking over. We've been trying to get fights for Tarek, but unfortunately nobody seems to be too willing to fight him right now. We'll definitely have Tarek out on the 1st of November against an opponent. Got a couple in mind. Keith's put those names forward to the matchmaker to try and make it happen, which is fantastic. And for Kel, we're going to have what we hope will be a warm-up fight for the world title. Even though it's a warm-up fight, it's going to be probably an 8-rounder. It's going to be against a credible opponent, possibly an international opponent. We in camp are treating it as his world title fight. You know, it's not just a case of, oh, it's warm-up. It's as serious as going into that big one for us. So the way that we look at it, we're approaching it exactly the same way as what we're going to approach if we get that shot at the main belt. So just working hard now. First couple of weeks is more strength and cardio than anything else. We're starting to introduce a bit of technique into it, and I've already started sparring. You know, these two have sparred with each other. Last night did a good 5 rounds. It's hard 5 rounds because they know each other that well now. It's great to watch, you know. Yeah, both obviously still need improvement in certain areas, which we're working on, which is great at this time. But you know, they're there. They did 5 rounds together. You know, landing big shots, which is great to see because you know they're not pulling back. So the hard work really is starting now. So we're in 3 times a day, just working, changing it up. I've introduced a few different things into the camp already, mainly for the strength and conditioning side of it, which is definitely working. You know, first of all, both guys are ruined right now. We're Wednesday night, but they're both a lot stronger, and you know the fitness is there. Like I said, we're 10 days into the training camp, and they're all sparring 5 rounds, hard, competitively. So that, you know, that's a great start. We've got another, what have we got? 7 weeks, 7.5 weeks until fighting up. Fantastic. So.
What sort of level of sparring are you going to be looking at, if any?
At the minute, we're getting fairly novice sparring at the moment, apart from when they spar each other. Literally just so that we can work on things, and we've got a few lads at a local gym that they're brilliant. They're coming in and helping us, and we're helping them as well. You know, because neither Tarek or Kel take advantage. You know, they're not unloading on them at all, but they're working on things as well that we're doing here. So it's an ideal opportunity to just try it with these lads, not with any sort of power or anything, just do it. And you know, for the lads that they're in with, that's absolutely superb. So you know, we're helping them out at the same time as you know they're doing us a service, which is fantastic news. Then at the end of the month, end of September this is, I've had a phone call from Steele-Davis. He wants us to go down and start sparring with Chris Eubank Jr. again. At the end of this month, he's in Vegas at the minute at the Mayweather camp. So he's there a month. He gets back. He's going to be sharp, and he's going to be on top of his game by the time he gets back. So that's going to be awesome sparring for both these guys. And then I spoke to Rob McCracken yesterday, and Rob basically said to come down again end of the month, beginning of October on a regular basis, because then Team GB are at the minute, they're all out in Kazakhstan and doing training camps. They'll be back. They'll be very, very sharp. So we're going to have sparring with them, and Carl is back into training then as well. So we can go back up and we can start sparring with Carl again. So, and that again is going to be for both guys, Tarek and Calvin. So.
Just to finish off, it'd be remiss not to mention the trip to the States. Obviously, you had really productive talks out there as we covered. So, what's the next stage?
The next stage is in Keith's hands. It's now down to our promoter and our manager, and you know, Keith's right on top of it. He's got communication with Donovan George's manager, which is going really well, and obviously he's talking to various people over here as well. So that's where we are at the minute. Everybody's waiting to hear. Donovan's had contact with Kelvin, basically saying we're just waiting on you guys. You know, come back to us. I've had contact with Donovan's manager. We get on really well. We formed a great bond with those guys up there. They're fantastic people. And he's basically said exactly the same thing. He basically said, you come back to us first, we will give you the shot. So, you know, it's out of my hands, it's out of Calvin's hands now. It's in the hands of Keith. We know Keith can get it done and will get it done. So it's fantastic. It's going to be very exciting, and you know, fingers crossed within 3 to 4 weeks we'll know. We'll know first of all if we've got it, and secondly when it'll be. I've got an idea when it'll be if we'll get it. So, you know, we're just waiting and hoping. All we're doing at the moment, we're concentrating on 1st of November. Yeah. That's what my job is and what Calvin's job is. 1st of November. Keith's is 1st of November and trying to pull off this shot for us. But the great thing when we were over there, both camps that we spoke to on the Friday night at the weigh-in, both turned around and said, yes, you know, when we win tomorrow night, we're quite happy to defend the title the first time against Calvin. So, and that was Steele-Davis's camp and also Donovan's camp. And literally, then I threw it out to them and said, fantastic, when do you want to see me? And they both said immediately after the fight. And that's what we did. You know, straight after the fight, we waited for Donovan to come out of the ring, congratulated him, and he said, come back into the change rooms. Went back into the change rooms. We got in there, and after being in there a couple of minutes, he came up to Calv, embraced Calv, they had a big hug, and he stood back and said, I'm a man of my word, I will give you a shot at this title. Which is, you know, what more do you want? You know, we went over to Chicago hoping that we could be in the frame for it, and both camps welcomed us with both arms and both said, yeah, we'll do it. So we've had it verbally. Obviously, contracts and money and everything else talks, but they did say that if it happens, they'd want it in the UK. Which, you know, for us, it was like, seriously? You know, quite happy to travel, obviously, to the States to go and fight for the title, but if they want to come over to the UK, you know, it's fantastic, especially for Kelvin's fans. His fan base is so loyal and so passionate. Can you imagine Kelvin fighting for a world title here in England, you know, whether it's in Swindon or whether it could end up being? Can you imagine the support, imagine the noise, you know, and do you know what? I truly believe he can win it. I truly believe that. So it could be huge, We just got our fingers crossed. If it doesn't come off this time, no worries, we'll go down the other route where we become mandatory. Then it will come off. So, you know, it's a very, very viable possibility. So it's exciting times.